I'll be straight up about Steve Bannon. I don't like what I've ever heard about him, and I'll be honest with you. When I look at the man, I don't like the way he looks. It's the truth. But there is a story about him, and it was from the Washington Post, and the story is pretty bizarre. House that he was renting in Florida, and there's an investigation going on about this. There's a house in Florida that Bannon claimed residency in. He was spending most of his time in Washington, D.C., but his address was listed as a business manager's office in California. In fact, prosecutors in Miami have opened an investigation of Bannon's claims to be a Florida resident from 2014 to 2016. In other words, he's doing that as a tax dodge. Because although Bannon signed a lease on the Florida home for that period of time, Bannon's ex-wife Diane was the one residing there, and neighbors told the Post they've never seen Bannon near the house. The theory is that Bannon claimed to live in Florida because the state does not have income tax, therefore allowing him to avoid paying taxes on his earnings by claiming to reside there. And then it says, and the shit gets weird. The Post obtained a February 15th email from Bannon's former landlord that read, entire jacuzzi bathtub seems to have been covered in acid. The landlord also noticed that the padlocks had been installed on interior doors. That is creepy. It says creepy. I'm reading this, it says creepy. While other doors were totally removed. Why would you remove doors? Sounds like a psychopath. Okay, and then Bannon responded, I'm out of town. Is there any way you can talk to Diane and sort things out? Acid in a bathtub? Why would you want to do that? It reminds me of something I've seen on TV. I think on Breaking Bad. I've also seen that in movies when they fill a bathtub up with acid. Steve Bannon. I'm sorry. I know that sounds horrible, that I just don't like the way that he looks. But the first time I saw him, I was like, oh, so he's as repulsive as Trump, And I guess it really isn't about how they look. It's just Trump's behavior makes him so repulsive to me, And then hearing this about his right-hand man, Jesus Christ. I hope Jared doesn't do things like that. I think this is the truth. Bannon's got a lot of money. And I've said this before. I've had roommates that were dominatrixes, okay? And each one of them had stories about rich guys. Each one of them had stories about rich guys saying that when the rich guys would come into their place, it was down around Wall Street, the dominatrix place. I don't know what it looks like. But I do know what a massage parlor looks like from when I was in the military. Looked like a doctor's office, right? But it had like a magazine rack, and all the magazines were in Korean. I don't know if that's how it was, but they both told me that it was always the super rich guys that would come in, and they knew who they were. Super rich and politicians. That's what they said, that wanted the poo-poo platter. And the poo-poo platter, get this, consisted of them shitting and then putting shit on a saltine and then feeding it to them. And a lot of times, I guess the guy wants degradation too. Like, you are disgusting while you're eating it. I'm sure a lot of guys go there to get peed on too. I bet that story's true about Trump. Don't you think? I think it is. I think that's probably way more common than some sick fuck that likes to eat shit. or take padlocks off doors, or put padlocks on doors, interior doors, and take doors off and fill up a bathtub full of acid. It's just, you know, I would feel safer if Pence was in there. That's for damn sure. I really would. Pence might be weird, or he might have, but he just doesn't seem like he's going to do anything totally crazy. You know, Trump seems unhinged. Bannon repulses me. You know, they both repulse me. And we have somebody that sort of looks normal. If you're going to say if somebody looks normal, Jared looks normal. But once again, he's a kid that was born with so much money. He was a billionaire, you know? I think him alone is like almost $1 billion, and then his family has a ton of money. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fucking money in the White House, and that means there's a lot of freaky shit going on.